Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina. Last week I asked you guys to submit questions for this Q&A session in which you could ask basically anything, and we got a pretty healthy amount of questions in. We're going to be answering 10 of those questions today, but before we kick off our Q&A, I want to take a moment and give a shout out to Darth Phoenix 619. If you're watching my channel, you probably are familiar with Darth Phoenix 619's channel as well. He's an excellent reviewer. He does a ton of different Star Wars collectibles and toys and such. If you haven't seen his channel, I will provide a link down at the bottom. But anyhow, he ran a Good Time to Be a Star Wars Fan giveaway contest. And I was very fortunate in that his family really liked the video that I submitted for his contest, which was the Headless Vader Part 1 Attack of the Bat stop motion film. And a couple weeks ago, I received my prize pack from Tony for having won that contest. And I just want to say thank you so much, Tony, for these wonderful gifts. I'm really happy that you and your family appreciated my video and that you guys enjoyed it. And I want to thank all of you guys for sending me these delightful prizes. What we have here on the left is some Hot Wheels. We have the Chewbacca and Han Solo character cars, which are super cool. To the right of that, we have the Funko Pop Disney Frozen Summer Olaf, which is so fun. I'm going to do my best to get that one into my next Headless Vader episode. And then I also got 3 cards right here. We have a Shock T, we have C-3PO, and we have Logray the Ewok. Very, very cool cards. So again, thank you Darth Phoenix 619 for all of these wonderful gifts. So it just so happens that Darth Phoenix 619 did submit a question into the Q&A, and his question reads, "You're on a deserted island. What 3 collectibles would you want with you and why?" Alright, well the first thing that comes to mind that would probably be very useful in that kind of a situation would be a Star Wars Force Effects lightsaber, and this is the one I had customized. I know I've briefly shown it to you guys before. Really cool guy did this for me, customization, totally custom. Blade, electronics, LED, everything is completely customized. It's got an SD card, it's got a crystal chamber, which you can pull out, and maybe I'll do a video of this thing on its own sometime. Very, very cool. And I think this would be very, very useful on that island. The second item I would take with me is this Star Wars 6-inch Black Series figure, because I think I would get bored on that island and it would be fun to futz around with something. A figure like this is highly articulated and it's a pretty good size. So yeah, I think I would take the Stormtrooper with me. It's one of my favorites in the Black Series lineup, and it's quite great. And the last thing I would take with me, I would say I would take Chompy, the T-Rex, who likes to video bomb my videos. I don't know, I just like Chompy a whole lot. And in a way, I think Chompy would help me to keep my sanity intact, or insanity maybe. But I don't know, I just think it would be fun to have Chompy along for the ride. The second question comes from Inglisha Holst, who is asking, "Is toy reviewing on YouTube your primary job or just a hobby? If it is a hobby, what is your full-time job?" Well, I absolutely wish it was my full-time job, because how fun would that be? But no, it's not. It's just a hobby. I do it when I have time for. I am a full-time college student, and I'm just trying to get as many reviews in right now while I have the time. I imagine that at some point I'm not going to have quite as much time to do them. So I'm just making the most of it right now, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy these reviews for a long time to come. The third question comes from Omicron78, and he's asking, "What is your favorite Star Wars movie and why?" I think Empire is probably the best Star Wars film of all, but I think my personal favorite is A New Hope. I just love the look of the film. It feels very 70s, yet it was quite groundbreaking for its time, and it's just such a fun movie. You have all the characters, and everything's fresh. Everything you see in that movie is what the world first saw when they got their first experience with Star Wars. And I absolutely love the Mos Eisley Cantina scene. That's my favorite scene in the whole saga. I love Grand Moff Tarkin. I love Alec Guinness as Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Death Star. All that stuff is really awesome. And yeah, I would say that A New Hope is my favorite in the whole saga. The next question comes from Gen X, who asks, what is your game plan for watching Star Wars The Force Awakens and for collecting the toys? Will you be attending Midnight Madness for the toy line release? I have attended Midnight Madness for the past 2 films, Attack of the Clones. My dad took me and my sibling, and we did that at Walmart. And then for Revenge of the Sith in 2005, I went to that, and my aunt came with me. And, I bought quite a few toys. It's quite fun. I do imagine that I will be going to Midnight Madness again this year, providing that they do, in fact, put one on. And it sounds like they are going to be doing one. So, yeah, I do plan to do that. And for The Force Awakens, I did see Revenge of the Sith at midnight, but as you get older, it gets a little bit harder to stay up and watch a movie at midnight. So I'm probably going to try and catch it on the first day of release, but probably not at midnight. 5th question comes from Hellfry Boy, who asks, if you were in a store and found a figure that you wanted but noticed that a child was looking for it, would you keep it or give it to the child? I would hope that anybody in the situation that's an adult collector would give the toy to a child. I've actually been in that situation once. I was at Target. It was 2005. I had the Revenge of the Sith Clone Commander in my hand, and I noticed that a little boy with his mother was looking for it, saying, I want the Clone Commander, and I had one in my hand, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to give it to the kid, he probably is going to enjoy it more than I am, so I gave it to him, and I thought, okay, I'm going to keep looking a little bit, maybe I'll find something, and lo and behold, I found another Clone Commander. So yes, I would definitely give any toy that I had in my hand to any kid that was looking for that very toy. Next question comes from the Ultimate Gamer 803. What is your favorite Jurassic World toy in the first 2 waves? I would say that my favorite Jurassic World toy in the first 2 waves is probably going to be this right here, the Indominus Rex versus Gyrosphere set. The Indominus Rex isn't 100% movie accurate. I think this was probably in development before the movie came out. But I do like it quite a bit because it's a fun toy. I think the action features on it are pretty cool. You get your dino damage, pull down the tail, and it chomps. I think that's pretty cool. And then, of course, you have the gyrosphere, which you press the button and, the seat and the glass pop open. I just think it's a really fun toy. It's not the most authentic Jurassic World toy by Hasbro, but I do think that it is probably the most fun that has been offered so far. The next question comes from Ivan Mandich, who asks, how many Jurassic World toys do you have so far? All right, so let's count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If we count the slap band and the 2 dog tags with the stickers, that brings us to 15. And then we have the Raptor sisters up at the top. There's 19. There's the Indominus Rex versus Gyrosphere, and then the Mosasaurus versus Submarine. That brings us to 21. I also have a second Chomping T-Rex, so that brings us to 22, and that's not counting any of the mini dinosaurs from the Walmart exclusive packs. Next question comes from Mad Woba, who's asking, what do your friends and significant other think about your collection? This is a really good one. Frankly, they think I'm absolutely insane. Now, my friends think it's cool. I mean, they tend to not really share into collecting things like that. Although I do have one friend that's really into collecting the Disney Mickey Mouse hats that they sell at Disneyland. And then my brother-in-law collects quite a few Legos. But other than that, I don't really have any close friends or relatives that collect like I do. My husband's good with it as long as I'm happy. And, I enjoy doing it, then, he's totally cool with it. Next question comes from MG Villain MP478, who's asking, what is the rarest thing you have in your collection at this time? That is a hard question to answer, but if we're just dealing with Star Wars action figures, I would say it's probably a toss-up between these 2, Darth Revan from the 30th Anniversary Collection, and then K. Kruk from the Legacy Collection. I know aftermarket on these is pretty high. I don't know which of the 2 is worth more than the other. Manny, I think you would know a little bit more than I would as to which one is, goes for a little bit more right now. But I do have some vintage figures as well, and I still think that these are probably worth more than those. So yeah, these would be the two Star Wars figures that I would say are the most valuable in my personal collection. If we're talking about Star Wars non-action figures, then I do have my the Saga Collection Imperial Shuttle from 2006. This was a Target exclusive, and I know on the secondary market that these go for quite a bit. So I would say that's probably certainly one of the most high-value items in my collection as far as Star Wars goes. Now, if we're talking about my overall collection, as far as everything that I have, this is probably the highest value single item I have in my Vinylmation collection. It's the Frozen 2-pack featuring Princess Anna and Queen Elsa. This retailed for about $30 or so. It was a limited edition, 1500, and this came out before the Frozen film came out. And afterward, the movie was hugely popular, insanely popular, and it still is very popular. And this set skyrocketed on the secondary market, so now these cost between $200 and $300 on eBay. And the 10th and final question in this Q&A comes from Scabcat242, who is asking, what is your favorite action figure line to collect? Well, as you guys know, I collect quite a few different properties, but I do feel that the bread and butter of my collection has been Star Wars. I really got into Star Wars when I was 11 years old, back when the Power of the Force 2 lineup began hitting stores. That's when I really got into it, and it's been pretty constant ever since. There's been a few downtimes where, I just wasn't really collecting anything. But by and large, I don't think more than a period of months went by, where I didn't buy anything. So I would say that while I really do enjoy collecting all the things that I collect, I would have to say that if I had to pick one thing, I would say that Star Wars is my favorite toy line to collect. All right, you guys, I'd like to thank everybody that participated in the Victoria's Cantina Q&A. It was quite fun, and I'd love to do another one of these again sometime. Do want to remind you guys that the 1,000 subscribers giveaway is still going on. It's going through the end of this month. So if you would like to participate, please check out the video for that. I will put a link to it at the bottom. The rest of this week is going to be a little bit of a catch-up week for me on some older 6-inch Star Wars Black Series figures that I've had for a while and, for whatever reason, just haven't gone around to reviewing. I'm going to go ahead and get those knocked out this week. So stay tuned for more from Victoria's Cantina. All right, you guys, as always, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.